but they were cornered by the Baron's servants, so they got rid of her and got away. It must be hard for you to hear this. Your father was Joshua Brasser, a man from Earth and an agent of ours. He was here posing as a renowned aristocrat at the center of the Empire, the Prime Minister of Finance by the court of the King of Arcanar. He met your mother at one of the royal balls. I don't know. After his wife died, Joshua secretly sent you to the center of the Empire. Nobody knew about it. You probably had a recommendation if you ended up in scout school. Then he left to search for the pirates. He equipped a fleet of 3 galleys. The crew was made up of the best Imperial mercenaries. For over 3 years, burned and trashed pirate ships were found all over the shores. People saw his ships in harbors, but they didn't stay for long. For quite a while now, there's been no word about him, but we don't have any evidence that he's dead. We tried, but all of our searches turned up nothing. Strangely, he was the only agent of the Institute who went on a rampage and was not found afterwards. Yes, he's your mother's brother, and yes, you're an Earthman, from the biological point of view, although some of your deeds attest to that as well. Right now, absolutely nothing. But after the discussion at the Institute, we've decided to transfer you back to Earth. Naturally, only if you agree. I would think carefully about this offer if I were you. Well, as for me, I'd be glad to see you on Earth. I really like you, and many of your deeds have been worthy of an Earthman. But you see, our society is very different from this one. It's almost impossible to explain. For instance, here you can kill a man if it is necessary. In our society, any murder is an absolutely extraordinary thing. And if it happens, it means that, well, it simply can't happen. Do you understand? Well, that's also unrealistic. Basically, you will find it very difficult to adjust, but it's still possible. I believe in you.
Good afternoon, Rudolph. Allow me to introduce myself. I am Count Ramon. Why do I have to explain anything? I got fed up with doing that at the Institute. At times it seemed to me that everyone of that fine establishment was a hopeless moron. That's why I had no other choice than to die. Don Ordanos is busy defending my castle. You know, from barbarians, prophets, all kinds of other scum. They can get so bothersome. The death of the Earthman is not on my conscience. Same for the others. My men only eliminated people in Arcanar. I didn't enjoy it, but I had no choice. And if you'd spare me your morality lessons, Rudolph, I'd be very grateful. I didn't come here to listen to them. And frankly, I didn't much want to return to the world of the living. But now the situation is slipping out of my control. I did. It slipped out of control quite a time ago. Might I remind you about the events that took place 1.5 years ago? The Institute overlooked Don Reba, and after that, failed to control anything. If you remember, I was studying the Stranger's artifact. Our professors constantly mocked me for it. That was the main reason why I moved to Zarenica. My analysis of the information had demonstrated that there absolutely had to be something there. Local legends and historical sources confirmed my theory. The artifact does exist, and it is here. Also, I know that the Prophet is looking for it so that he can have it for himself. I failed in locating it. I don't even want to imagine what will happen if the artifact falls in his hands. You're wrong. I also did those calculations. Such an opposing force existed earlier, long before the Prophet showed up. That's why I concluded that this artifact can directly influence the evolution of a society on its own. The influence is weak, but constant. The Hiccup Forest. You heard me. The Hiccup Forest. The artifact is there. Everything points there. Legends, sayings, even the entire religion of barbarians is based on the worship of this forest. Do you remember what that nutty Copperskin was talking about? Rudolph, I don't want to keep arguing, but I have very solid reasons to believe that the artifact is in the Hiccup Forest. Moreover, I looked through my older records and noticed that there was something similar in the Amazon jungle. There is a dead city that once held a tribe that worshipped men descended from the sky. So we've already had a similar episode in our own history. Well, what's your suggestion then? Throw up your hands and say you have no idea where to look? I'm afraid that pure theory won't be of much help in this situation. We need to start searching and keep searching until we find it. If we only knew where to start. I, for one, do not know. Gladly. I think you should hurry up. We need to check on Pampa. Maybe we could use his help in finding a trail to lead us to the artifact. As for me, a rather unpleasant conversation awaits me. I don't know. Maybe it was a mistake, but I'm afraid that the two of us alone won't be able to do it. I don't have access to the information on Earth. The Institute's database is incomplete and in some aspects obsolete, but I will not let them simply take me back to Earth.
Many things have started to click into place. I'll try to figure it out. It could be that that Boris was right and such a place exists on our home planet too, but this will take some time. I think it's best to forget about the Prophet for now. We need to find the exact location of the artifact. Sooner or later, the Prophet will come for it. We must stay ahead of him and then set up a warm meeting when he arrives. That's right. Therefore, any hint must be very thoroughly examined. I've been thinking about it for quite some time, and I think our friend Pampa is a very good lead. Yes and no. The Bao family is very old, ancient even. The founder of the family was a hunter for Marshal Tawz and came to this land together with him. As legend has it, there was an ancient order which... What's so funny? It's a real order this time. Old records of it can still be found in the libraries and book depositories of the Empire. It had something to do with the Hiccup Forest. Still, the main purpose remains unclear. I think you should see Pampa and try to figure out the details. That's all we have to start with at this point. You have an urgent mission, Baron. Go. Two old friends will resolve a little misunderstanding meanwhile. Well, taking into account the complexity of your next mission, here you are. Some ammo. I think you will need it. You have an urgent mission, Baron.
I think you should hurry up. You must talk to Pampa. Maybe he will help you find a trace of the artifact. As for me, there is a rather unpleasant talk waiting for me. I don't know. Maybe it's useless, but I'm afraid we alone can't handle it. I have no access to Earth information, and the Institute database is old and incomplete. And I won't let them take me and the Earth.
You have an urgent mission, Baron. Go. Two old friends will resolve a little misunderstanding meanwhile.